in these braces for at least 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
I find myself going like,
I crossbite and I have an overbite, overjet. My teeth aren't put seating together. They don't come together like this. They're kind of like off, and mainly because of that crossbite. So I've had a lot of pain because of that. A lot of throbbing pain in my jaw, upper and lower, because of my teeth never really aligning correctly. My upper and my lower arches are extremely narrow. Another reason as to why braces were needed, let alone that my teeth were not lining up correctly, is I needed to have more room and to be able to possibly shift my teeth into positions better so they actually seat together correctly. It's like, okay, so if you want to go see your actual brackets, we have a few minutes before he needs to do any last adjustments that he sees needed. So I did that, and here's some pictures that I quickly took. And he was coming back around the corner. I didn't want him watching me have my own little photo shoot, but because he was just like, the mirror's over there, were you close to where you were brushing your teeth, so if you want to go take a look at them, I did. So I got right on a chance to do that, that's for sure. Hey guys, just want to give you one last shot of what I look like with my teal braces. There's a car pulling up, and today I am going back for my first follow-up with my orthodontist, and I just wanted to bring my phone with me to record as much as I can. I don't like to get in the way of the orthodontist doing his work, and you don't just have your braces on for a few days. So she said that quite a few people bring their camera. The assistant said that she understands wanting to document it. She has had braces herself years ago. Now that I'm back home, I just wanted to show you. I'm trying to find the best lighting here. He didn't change my wire. As you can see, it's still the same thin wire as it was. He said he wants my teeth to move slowly since I do have a kind of a difficult case. He also did look at the bite blockers. Those are the things I had built up in my teeth. Right here. And here. Anyways, he put the bite blockers on there to kind of hold my upper arch up a little bit. So when I do close my teeth like that, it doesn't allow for this upper teeth to come down and hit the brackets on the bottom. I do feel like my canines are actually just barely coming into contact with the brackets that are directly on the tooth below them. He did check today, and it is extremely close, but he does want to just leave things as they are. But for now, I am almost there. So, I'm turning the wrong way. And again, with the sun in here, I don't know if you can see or not. They probably look teal. Can't really tell. But anyways, they are a navy blue. You probably can't really see them very well. I'm not sure. Let's see, that would have been on, I think, November 26th is when that appointment was supposed to have been. I had called them on November 19th, just complaining about just a wire that I wanted to have clipped. It was in, I think, my upper right arch. There was excessive wire that needed to just be clipped off. That wire's constantly catching on the inside of your gum, and it can really tear it up. Okay, and then the next thing that he wanted to do was talk about a coil spring. He had put a passive coil spring on my upper arch on the left side, on the wire in between two brackets to sustain the space that he wants between those two teeth. And there are 3 different types of coil springs from what I understand. And don't quote me on this, but I think an open coil spring is to put on the wire in between two teeth that will actually, as the orthodontist needs it to, open up the space between those two teeth, and there is a closed coil spring, hence the name. It will close a gap or a space between two teeth. It has been 6 months
6 months.
since I have been in braces. I cannot believe it. The time has flown by. I will have to say that as my teeth shift a little bit, it feels like I just had my braces put on yesterday. Some days I wake up though and feeling like, oh my God, these things have been on forever. Where I just feel like I got like a mouth guard in, and I just want to take it out when I get up and go about my day. But nope. I'm in these braces for at least 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
But I realize it has been 2 months as well since I have posted a video. I have taken a break from social media, including YouTube, for very personal reasons. And again, for those of you that have reached out, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you. It has meant the world to me. So with all that said, the only thing I know to do for now is move on one day at a time with one thing at a time. The next thing I wanted to talk about, since it has been a couple of months since I had uploaded a video, was towards the end of January, I started noticing your brackets will rub on your inner cheeks in spots that they had never rubbed before. And that is why the thing that helps out with that the most is wax. If you feel like you just can't tough it out. When I first got braces put on, I did use wax, and I'm so thankful that it has been invented. I think there's a few other products that can be used in lieu of putting the wax on. It is kind of a nuisance because at the end of January, it wasn't only just a few days that I had to use wax.
It's a week and a half.
Okay, so now this brings us into the month of February for my braces journey. In case anyone was curious if I still had it or not, is I do still have the passive coil spring that is in my upper left arch. And then during that appointment, of course, as always, he just wanted to see what progression my teeth were moving in. Again, we're still waiting on this lower arch of mine. But however, I mean, they have had some definite movement since day one, of course, just not as quickly as we would like them to. So with that being said, he did go ahead and increase the gauge of the lower arch to match the top. I've got some new lighting here, so let's see how this works. So then after he put the new ligature ties,
I have a hard time saying that.
after he had put those on, then he went ahead and just briefly looked over my teeth again so he could have an idea of what he wants to do for the next appointment, because he said there's big changes coming up for my next appointment. So we shall see. My next appointment out of all days of the year to see the orthodontist would be April 1st. And if you understand what that day is,
It is April Fool's Day.
so I don't know if that is a good thing or a bad thing. So both of my fingers are crossed and both hands that appointment goes well. Now with the updates for my braces, where we are at, to I guess maybe recap from where I left off last time, is I had an appointment on April Fool's Day, the orthodontist. Nothing really bad happened, except for what I did get was my first power chain, and he left the wires the same gauge as they were from the appointment before that. I will have to say the biggest thing that I took from that appointment would be later that evening and into the next few days was the teeth hurting, and oh my God, it was so nostalgic, like it was the first day that I had braces put on. My teeth felt very crowded, very like in a vice is how I had to explain it back in one of my first braces videos. He wanted to shift my teeth in different ways, and I won't lie in saying that I was nervous to see what he was going to do with that area, because I did not want him to try to shift my teeth and then my midline in the front not be exactly where it needs to be. Yeah, he has just kept reassuring me at the appointment on April Fool's Day that just trust me, I know what I'm doing. So what he explained though with that pink power chain that he put on was there was a spot, and I will insert a picture here so you can see what I'm talking about. There's a spot where he had left the power chain open because there was 2 teeth that he didn't want to move at a specific time when he put that on, and there was teeth that he did want to move. So it's crazy how they can manipulate your teeth over time with leaving a power chain off in certain areas. And now I think that's pretty much wraps up my update for April. And then I went back to the orthodontist the middle of May. The wires that he put in for the upper and lower arch were the same gauge. The power chain top, not the bottom, and the power chain is the same all the way from one side to another. He did not leave an open space this time, and this power chain was blue that I had put on in May. Was catching you guys up for the month of April and May. I would go ahead and just say change my wires, but literally just put in a brand new wire on the top and lower arch. He did not have to change the gauges of them. There was 1 or 2 of the ligature ties. I definitely know of one of them. He was twisting the ligature tie once he had it around one side of the bracket, kind of like doing like a butterfly tie. That just adds more added pressure to a specific tooth to get it to turn. And by the way, speaking of the power chain and the ligature ties, they are teal that I got. That's all the fun for today.
Yep, cut you off.
Cut me off.
Not too much fun.
Hey there, friends.
He put me back into a power chain on my upper arch, trying to take a little piece of sandpaper, or maybe it was like one of those little files, and it wasn't IPR where they literally shave down each side of your tooth, but he was just taking a little bit of something that was abrasive, and it just took a couple of swipes at each side of that tooth, and it's being very stubborn like it was in the last video. I think I explained that it's not wanting to turn. I had got elastics, if you guys haven't noticed already, while I'm talking. Sometimes you just can't see them while I'm talking. But I got elastics. And I have to wear these suckers for 23 hours a day.
But I find myself going like with my tongue, you know, kind of pushing the elastics out of the way.
And one thing I'll have to say is that I've here my orthodontist just continue to keep preaching to me is wear your elastics. The elastics start at my canines on the top. So, yeah. To wrap this video up, I had an appointment at the beginning of July, one at the end of July, and then I had one after that. We are now have been coming up on a year in my braces, and I still have one more calendar year yet for in these braces.
I'm about done. I know I talk a lot.
You know what? I just hope at least that maybe if I can just help one person out there, that would be super fantastic.
So anyways, I'm just going to quit rambling on.
But I do hope that you found this video helpful. If you could, please give it a big thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up everywhere. If you would like to see more of my daily post or every other day, weekly post, more often than here on YouTube, you can head on over to my Instagram, which I will have my Instagram handle somewhere on the screen below. It also will be linked in the description box below. Share it, like it, comment below. And if you aren't subscribed to my channel but you would like to be, please hit that red subscribe button down below, whichever side it's on. And I hope you have a great day or a great night, whatever it may be for you. Thank you again for watching.